What's up everyone and welcome back to the channel. Let's start it with our first news. With UFC 321 now officially in the books, the MMA world's attention has already shifted to the next major pay-per-view event set for November, a blockbuster card headlined by Islam Makhachev vs Jack Della Maddalena. The matchup has generated tremendous excitement, as the reigning lightweight champion moves up to welterweight to test his skills against one of the division's most dangerous strikers. In a recent interview with ESPN MMA, Islam Makhachev opened up about his preparation for the fight, his transition to the 170-pound division, and his thoughts on the upcoming challenge. Surprisingly, Makhachev appears completely unfazed by Maddalena's striking power, an aspect many analysts consider to be the Australian contender's greatest weapon. Makhachev discussed his weight management and how the move up to welterweight has actually simplified his training process. He revealed that he currently walks around at 191 pounds, 87 kilograms, but emphasized that maintaining this weight while training twice a day is no easy task. It's very hard when you train twice a day to gain weight, he explained. I want to walk around 87 kilograms, and in 5 weeks, I plan to be around 83 kilograms. It's going to be a very easy weight cut, honestly. According to Makhachev, his goal during fight week is to be approximately 182 pounds, meaning he would only have to cut around 12 pounds before stepping on the scale. For a fighter known for his discipline and conditioning, such a weight cut seems well within his comfort zone. This is an easy cut for me, he added confidently, suggesting that the move to welterweight might actually enhance his performance rather than hinder it. When asked about the power of his upcoming opponent, Makhachev dismissed the notion that Maddalena's striking would be a major concern. What about the power? Makhachev said with a smile. He's not like some guy who has crazy power, you know. He's not so big for this division. For example, fighters like Bilal, Muhammad, or Kamaru Usman, they have real power. But I don't think Jack has more power than me. The Dagestani champion's confidence is nothing new. Known for his dominant grappling, elite fight IQ, and relentless pace, Makhachev has long believed in his ability to control any opponent, regardless of size or style. As he prepares to step into the octagon against one of the UFC's most promising welterweights, his focus remains on executing his game plan and proving that technique and intelligence can neutralize even the most dangerous strikers. Do you agree with Islam Makhachev's assessment? Can his wrestling and composure overcome Jack Della Maddalena's power? Fans will find out soon when these two elite fighters collide in November's highly anticipated main event. Before we jump into the next story, we have a small favor to ask. If you're enjoying the content, please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell icon. It really helps us out, and ensures you'll never miss an update. Moving on to another news. Rising UFC star Umar Nurmagomedov has officially claimed the #1 contender spot in the bantamweight division following his impressive victory at UFC 321. The Dagestani phenom, who has long been touted as one of the brightest prospects in mixed martial arts, continues to prove that the hype surrounding his name is entirely justified. According to the latest UFC rankings update, Umar has moved past several elite contenders to become the top-ranked fighter at 135 pounds, putting him directly in line for a potential title shot. This ranking change follows his commanding win over Sean O'Malley's teammate, Sean Ali, in what many considered one of the most technically sound performances of the event. Nurmagomedov's victory showcased the signature Dagestani fighting style, relentless pressure, precise striking, and world-class grappling. He systematically broke down his opponent over 3 rounds, displaying composure and dominance in every aspect of the fight. The judges had little difficulty awarding him a unanimous decision, and the performance immediately sent ripples throughout the bantamweight division. With this victory, Umar now sits at #1, followed by Sean O'Malley at #2 and Petr Yan at #3. The rankings shift has sparked significant discussion among fans and analysts, many of whom believe Nurmagomedov's next fight should be for the UFC bantamweight title. Considering his undefeated record and the level of control he's displayed against top-tier competition, it's difficult to argue against that sentiment. The 28-year-old Dagestani fighter, a cousin of former lightweight champion Khabib Nurmagomedov, has been meticulously building his career under the guidance of Team AKA and the Nurmagomedov family's coaching legacy. Known for his humility outside the cage and ruthless efficiency inside it, Umar's rise has mirrored the disciplined approach that made his cousin a global superstar. While the UFC has yet to announce his next fight, speculation is mounting that a showdown with current champion Sean O'Malley could headline an upcoming pay-per-view in early 2026. O'Malley's flashy striking and Umar's relentless wrestling swirling make for a fascinating stylistic matchup that fans around the world are eager to see. Jon Jones, who has frequently praised Dagestani fighters for their dedication and technical precision, also commented on Umar's rise, calling him the future of the bantamweight division. Such recognition from a UFC legend further solidifies Nurmagomedov's growing influence in the sport. As Umar Nurmagomedov stands on the brink of a title opportunity, one thing is certain: the new #1 contender is not just following in the footsteps of greatness, he's carving out his own legacy, one dominant performance at a time. Moving on to another news, a recently resurfaced, previously unreleased interview with Jon Jones has sparked new conversation in the MMA world, particularly among fans of heavyweight contender Tom Aspinall. In the 6-month-old interview, the reigning UFC heavyweight champion discussed his thoughts on Aspinall's mentality inside the octagon, suggesting that the British fighter has shown signs of quitting in the past. According to Jones, he had studied one of Aspinall's early career fights and was struck by how quickly the Englishman tapped out during an ankle-lock submission attempt. Jones argued that this moment revealed something about Aspinall's mindset, hinting that he might lack the willingness to endure pain or adversity in high-pressure situations. In one of Tom's earlier fights, Jones said, his opponent twisted his ankle, and he almost instantly tapped out. To me, that says a lot about a fighter's mentality. The moment he felt any real pressure, he gave up. That lets me know a lot about him. Jones went on to compare that moment to his own experience against Vitor Belfort at UFC 152, where he famously refused to submit despite being caught in a deep armbar that nearly snapped his arm. "I had a fight where I got armbarred," Jones recalled. "I was literally willing to let somebody break my arm before I gave up. That's just who I am." With Tom, the moment he felt pain in his ankle, he tapped immediately. That shows me the difference in mindset. At the time of the interview, Jones also mentioned rumors that Aspinall would soon face Ciryl Gane, expressing curiosity about how the British heavyweight would perform under pressure against elite opposition. "I'll be interested to see if he wins his next fight," Jones said. "I believe he's supposed to fight Ciryl Gane next, and that'll tell us a lot. But there's a video out there that not many people have seen, one of his old fights where he just quit too quickly for someone of his experience level." Jones emphasized that his comments were not meant as personal attacks but as observations drawn from his long career as one of MMA's most analytical minds. "When I watch fighters, I look at their reactions, their instincts," he explained. "You can learn a lot about someone not when they're winning, but when things go wrong." While the clip has only recently surfaced, it's already fueling debate among fans and analysts. Some agree with Jones, arguing that fighters must possess an unbreakable will to be champion, while others defend Aspinall, noting that injuries can end fights instantly and tapping early can sometimes prevent long-term damage. Regardless of which side fans fall on, one thing is clear: Jon Jones' comments have reignited discussions about toughness, mentality, and what truly separates great fighters from champions. Moving on to another news, the MMA community is buzzing after Jon Jones resurfaced comments about Tom Aspinall, in which the UFC heavyweight champion suggested that the British contender has quit in past fights. Jones' remarks, made in an unreleased interview from 6 months ago, have sparked heated debate among fans, fighters, and analysts across social media. In the interview, Jones recalled an early fight in Aspinall's career where the Englishman quickly tapped out to a leg lock submission. Jones said that moment showed he has quit in him, comparing it to his own infamous UFC 152 bout against Vitor Belfort, where Jones refused to tap despite being caught in a deep armbar that nearly broke his arm. As the clip began circulating online, fans quickly took to social media to share their reactions. One fan wrote, "Damn, Jon knew Aspinall was a quitter all along." Another commenter criticized Jones' comparison, saying, "Comparing a leg lock with an armbar is wild. A leg lock can end your career, it can leave you limping for life. An armbar injury might take you out for a few months, but you'll recover. A snapped leg is different." Others sided with Jones, suggesting that mental toughness defines elite fighters. "When the going got tough, Tom took the easy way out," one fan argued. "There have been worse situations, eye pokes, broken bones, and some fighters still kept going. That's where real gladiators stand out from the rest." However, many defended Aspinall's decision to tap, pointing out the potential long-term risks of refusing to submit to a leg lock. Fighters and fans alike noted that a serious knee or ankle injury could derail a career entirely. "There's a difference between quitting and being smart," one user commented. "Tapping early doesn't make you weak. It means you value your career and health." Jon had his arm nearly snapped, but a leg lock can ruin your mobility forever. The debate intensified when some users referenced Jones' Jones' rumored $30 million offer to fight Aspinall, an offer Jones reportedly turned down. John might be right about Tom's mindset, one post read, but he's also been avoiding that fight himself. If he really believes Tom's a quitter, why not step into the cage and prove it? As discussions continue to flood forums and social media platforms, fans remain divided. Some view Jones' comments as psychological warfare, a classic move from one of MMA's greatest tacticians, while others see them as an unnecessary dig at a younger fighter still climbing his way to the top. Ultimately, whether Tom Aspinall quit or made a smart decision to protect his career depends on perspective. What's undeniable is that Jon Jones' remarks have once again set the MMA world ablaze, reigniting questions about toughness, risk, and what it truly means to be a champion in the octagon. Moving on to another news. In the aftermath of UFC 321, the promotion has made another round of roster cuts, parting ways with multiple fighters, a decision that has sparked mixed reactions across the MMA community. According to official reports, Dana White and the UFC matchmakers have released Hamdi Abdelwahab and Azad Maksum from the organization, marking significant changes in their respective divisions. The news came as a surprise to many fans, especially considering Abdelwahab's recent victory. The Egyptian heavyweight, known for his wrestling-heavy style and relentless pace, secured a unanimous decision win over Chris Barnett at UFC 321. Despite the victory, the UFC chose to part ways with him, a move that left many observers scratching their heads. Hamdi Abdelwahab, who joined the UFC with a strong background in Greco-Roman wrestling, had competed 4 times in the organization, compiling a record of 2-1, with 1 no contest. In his most recent bout, he showcased toughness and resilience, breaking his hand in the first round and even having a point deducted, yet still managing to grind out the win. Many fans believed this type of performance, defined by heart, grit, and perseverance, was exactly what the UFC claims to value in its fighters. "This one doesn't make sense," one fan wrote online. Hamdi showed everything you want from a fighter: toughness, willpower, and the ability to fight through adversity. Some analysts speculate that the decision may have been influenced by contract negotiations or the promotion's desire to refresh its heavyweight roster. Meanwhile, the release of Azad Maksum was far less surprising. The Kazakh flyweight has struggled to find consistency in the UFC after entering the promotion with an undefeated record and high expectations. Maksum's UFC run included 4 fights, with 3 consecutive losses, most recently falling to Mitch Raposo at UFC 321 by unanimous decision. Despite holding an overall record of 15-3, Maksum's performances inside the octagon did not meet the promotion's expectations. His only UFC win came in 2023, and since then, he's been unable to regain momentum. Analysts pointed out that while Maksum remains a talented fighter, the UFC's flyweight division is one of the most competitive, leaving little room for extended losing streaks. In recent years, Dana White and the UFC have been more aggressive with their roster adjustments, often cutting fighters even after respectable performances to make room for emerging talent from the Dana White's Contender Series and international events. While Abdelwahab's release remains a head-scratcher for many fans, Maksum's departure seems more understandable given his recent skid. Still, both fighters have solid records and are likely to attract offers from other major organizations such as PFL, Bellator, or One Championship. As UFC 321's fallout continues, these roster changes highlight the promotion's ruthless but strategic approach, constantly evolving, always looking for the next breakout star. Moving on to another news. In a surprising turn of events, Michael Chandler's next fight has been revealed, and it won't take place inside the UFC octagon. Instead, the fan-favorite lightweight will be stepping onto the wrestling mats to face fellow combat sports veteran Chad Mendes in a freestyle wrestling showdown. The announcement came via Real American Freestyle, RAF, confirming that Michael Chandler vs. Chad Mendes will headline RAF03, scheduled for November 29th in Chicago, Illinois. The event will be streamed exclusively on Fox Nation, marking a crossover moment for both fighters who have deep roots in wrestling and mixed martial arts. The matchup instantly caught the attention of fans. Both Chandler and Mendes are highly decorated wrestlers with collegiate backgrounds. Chandler was an NCAA Division I All-American at the University of Missouri, while Mendes was a 2-time NCAA finalist at Cal Poly. Their encounter promises a high-level, technical display of wrestling skill, grit, and competitive fire. For Chandler, this marks his his return to pure wrestling after years of competing at the highest level in MMA. Since signing with the UFC in 2020, he's been one of the promotion's most exciting fighters, delivering highlight reel performances against top names like Justin Gaethje, Tony Ferguson, and Charles Oliveira. Despite not fighting since 2022, Chandler has remained in the spotlight, largely due to his highly anticipated, and repeatedly delayed, matchup with Conor McGregor. Rumors surrounding the Chandler vs. McGregor fight have persisted for over a year, with UFC President Dana White hinting multiple times that the bout would serve as a blockbuster return for McGregor. However, with no official date confirmed, Chandler has opted to stay active in the meantime, and what better way to do that than to return to his wrestling roots? Sources close to the situation suggest that Chandler will still wait for the McGregor fight, which could take place at the rumored White House UFC event in early 2026. Until then, the 38-year-old American fighter seems content to compete in other arenas while maintaining his physical edge. Meanwhile, Chad Mendes, who retired from MMA in 2023 after a successful stint in bare-knuckle fighting championship, has also kept himself in phenomenal shape. The wrestling match provides a perfect opportunity for both men to showcase their athleticism without the risks associated with striking or full-contact MMA. The announcement has drawn excitement and nostalgia from fans who remember both men's wrestling dominance before transitioning to professional fighting. With Chandler's explosive style and Mendes' relentless pace, RAFO3 is shaping up to be one of the most anticipated wrestling events of the year. While fans still await official news of Chandler's next UFC bout, this matchup offers a thrilling glimpse of the competitive spirit that continues to define him, both on the mats and inside the cage.